Students, today we'll discuss about Gauss law. So before going to Gauss law, first we discuss about, we already know that what do you mean by electric flux. As you know that field lines, that is electric field lines link with a surface. You know that link with a surface. The amount of field lines link is known as what? Electric flux. So that means if this one is your surface, if we say that this one is the surface and these are the electric field lines, if these are the electric field lines, so we can say the amount of field lines linked with this surface, let us say this is surface S1, is known as electric flux. And you know that electric flux is a which quantity? It is a scalar quantity. Again, today we will discuss about what do we mean by or what is Gauss law. So according to Gauss, he proposed a theorem which is known as what? Gauss theorem. It is defined as the amount of flux linked, or we can say the electric flux linked with a closed surface. You remember this. We can write down link with a closed surface. So remember this, very important. Closed surface is 1 by epsilon times the charge enclosed by that surface. So we can say that, so for a surface, closed surface, the amount of flux link is equal to 1 by epsilon 0 times the charge enclosed by that surface. Now you see, if your phi E is equal to electric flux and E is the electric field intensity, and Q is the charge enclosed by surface S1. So electric flux linked with the surface how much? S1. Then according to Gauss theorem, phi is equal to 1 by epsilon times Q. What is Q? Q is the charge enclosed by surface S1. So we can say the phi E is equal to 1 by epsilon times Q E. Understood? Okay. Now we know that from electric flux we know that phi is equal to closed integral E into ds, where E is the what? Electric field intensity and ds is the area vector or surface area. So if you put this value here, so we get closed integral E dot ds is equal to 1 by epsilon times q, which you can write on q by epsilon naught, which is equal to phi e. This is known as what? Gauss theorem. Now you write on this. Now remember, this Gauss theorem is valid for certain condition is there. What is that condition? Now you see, the condition is the surface should be what? The surface should be closed surface. You know? Otherwise, Gauss theorem is not valid. Understood? Next, now you write down, by pausing the video you write down. Next, we move to some condition of this Gauss theorem. So what is the first condition? So we write down the first condition is Gauss theorem is true for closed surface. So it is only valid for closed surface. If the surface is not closed, then you cannot apply Gauss theorem. All the charges inside, that means if you consider the surface S, then you should consider all the charges that is enclosed by this surface. So you can write down all the charges inside surface are considered. So that means we cannot left a single charge. So all the charges should be considered here. Okay. Now these are the main two important conditions through which Gauss law is valid. Now next we see how to prove Gauss theorem. Now let us consider. Now before going to prove Gauss theorem, first you should know that what do you mean by Gaussian surface. What do you mean by Gaussian surface? So remember, this Gaussian surface is nothing but it is a imaginary surface. So what do you mean by imaginary surface? That means it is actually not valid. We can say it is not valid. That is, we imagine a surface. We imagine a surface to apply Gauss theorem. So that means this surface is not valid. We imagine a surface so that we can apply the Gauss theorem. So remember, this imaginary surface is a symmetrical surface. Very, very important. It is a which surface? Symmetrical surface. So I can say, how can you imagine a surface? You can examples. You can imagine a surface like, you can say also sphere, cylinder, circle, etc. etc. So according to our requirement, we can imagine this surface whenever it requires. Understood? Okay. Next we move to proof of Gauss theorem. So you can write down here, consider, so we know that we should consider the imaginary surface. So we can write down, consider an imaginary surface surface. Let us take this is a sphere. So we are considering imaginary surface. Which type of imaginary surface? Sphere. So this surface lies a charge plus q at the center. That means we are consider surface here, and at center the charge is how much? Plus q, and its radius is equal to how much? R. So we are considering a radius is equal to R. Now here the radius is equal to, we are considering how much? R. Now we know that from the electric flux we already know that we are considering a small portion here, and this small portion, let us take this small area is known as how much? ds. Now according to ds, this is the perpendicular area vector, this is area vector A, and here also these are the electric field lines E. So this is the electric field lines, this is the area vector, this already we discussed in the what? Electric flux. And we know that the area of the sphere, if you calculate the area of the sphere, you know that this will be how much? 4 pi r square, where r is the radius of the sphere. And also we calculate the electric field E. We know that also this is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 for sphere q by r square. This is already proved in electric field lines. Whenever we want to find out electric field lines, this is already proved. For sphere, electric field line E is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by r square. So we calculate the small flux. Let us take d phi. So why are considering the small flux? Because we are considering a small area. So we are considering a small area. So small area. So we are considering the small flux. Let's see. We are considering here small area. So we are considering what? Small flux d phi. So small flux d phi, link, we can write down linked with small area ds is equal to how much? D phi is equal to the same process. We know that d phi is equal to flux 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by r square. This is equal to how much? E ds cos theta. Are you remember this or not? And what is the formula of flux? Flux is equal to how much? E ds cos theta. You remember this or not? It is already discussed. So d phi also so much. E ds, E is equal to how much? E is equal to 1 by 4 pi q by r square. So you write down 1 by 4 pi q by r square. Then ds cos theta is equal to d phi. Now you see here, what is theta? Theta is the angle between what? E and ds. Now see here, what is the angle between E and ds? We can say the angle between E and ds is equal to 0 degree. Theta is equal to 0 to y. The direction of E and direction of A is same. Now if you draw here, this is the direction of E. Now this is the direction of A. So the angle is equal to how much? 0. Now if we put the value here, then this is equal to d phi is equal to 4 pi epsilon naught q by r square ds cos 0. So this is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by r square ds cos 0 is equal to how much? 1. Now this is the what? This is the, we can say, small flux. Now pause the video, write down. Now similarly, if you go for the total flux, then how to calculate total flux? That is total flux phi is equal to integration d phi over the total surface. So you can write down here integration, or we can say closed integral. So what is the value of d phi? 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by r square ds. This is equal to phi e is equal to, so 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 is how much? Constant. Q is also constant, r square is also constant. So 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. So 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught is constant, is taken outside. Q by r square is also constant. So we can add on closed integral ds. Now see, this closed integral ds is nothing but what? This is, you can write down, total area of the surface. Is it not? Total area of the surface. Total area of the surface we already considered. So the total area of the surface, that is A, we already taken A is equal to closed integral ds. This is a sphere, so total area is equal to how much? 4 pi r square. Now if you put the value there, we get how much? 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by r square. Now this is equal to how much? 4 pi r square. Now we put the value of area, that is total area, here in this diagram, or in this, we put the all the value, that means this value is replaced here. Now this is equal to this. Now you see, now this r square is cancelled, this 4 pi is cancelled, so we get how much? Phi e is equal to, now here there is a epsilon naught, here there is a what? Q, so we get q by epsilon naught. So that means you can write down here total flux linked with a surface. So we are considering what surface here? That is sphere, is equal to 1 by epsilon times what? Charge enclosed. Understood? Now this proves, we can add on here, this proves Gauss theorem. Now this is very, very important. You should remember this. It may come to your exam. Now write down. Thank you. In the next class, we discuss some application of the Gauss theorem. Thank you.